Hello sports fans, and welcome to another fun project that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. And finally, with the release of the 2019 season for Fast Drive Football by Al Wilson, I'm able to do it now. So a big thank you to Al Wilson for creating this 2019 NFL set. So I've been wanting to do a full season replay, including playoffs and the championship game, but I haven't had all the components in place, and now I do. Now you may be asking, why 2019 season? And there is a very detailed explanation for that, but it really just comes down to that's the only full second season that I had with the Finders. So what my plan is I want to play out the entire 2019 NFL season using Fast Drive Football. And once I get to the playoffs, playing those out with Second Season Express, and then the championship game having the full, playing the full second season game. So kind of like with my college football championship that I just finished not too long ago, with playing all the preliminary games with Second Season Express, and then the championship game with the full version. But now I'm able to add in the Fast Drive Football game, get that through the entire season, and then implement Second Season Express and the full version at the end. So very excited. Very lengthy project. So I plan on playing 4 games each video. So it's going to roughly be about 3 to 4 days a week. 4 days probably. I can't guarantee I'll get every single season done or every single week done weekly, but I'm going to try my best. So today we've got Green Bay at Chicago, Tennessee at Cleveland, the Los Angeles Rams at Carolina, and then Washington at Philadelphia. So we will start with our first game of the 2019 season, which was played on Thursday, September 5th, 2019, and it is Green Bay and Chicago. So let's go on down to the field and get tonight's action underway. So what I've wanted to do also for a very long time was implement this scoreboard that is also designed and sold by Al Wilson. Now there is a base to this scoreboard that is actually a field that you can play with either Second Season Express or the full version. However, I'm just using the scoreboard portion at this time, but if you would like more details on this, let me know, and I can get you in contact with Al Wilson in order to purchase this scoreboard. Very awesome. All these little components are held on by magnet, so I can change the score there, and you've got how many timeouts each team has, the time of the game, what quarter they're in, and what down it is. So very, very neat scoreboard. But let's go ahead and go down to the field and get tonight's first game underway. We will see who's going to kick off first. Green Bay will be the bullet, and Chicago will be the blank. This will be who receives the ball, and Green Bay will receive to start the game. Since I have the finders, I'm also implementing the finder die in order to just add a little more some statistics for the season. So let's go ahead and get the action underway as Chicago gets set to kick off. 12 is returner finds a seam, busts a long return before being forced out of bounds. Great field position by Green Bay to start this game. I'm trying to really focus on the scoreboard here, so I really wanted it to be kind of the main feature of the game. If you want the scoreboard smaller, or you want to see more of the game components themselves, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do. But for now, I think this is a good initial setup, and see how this goes. So Green Bay is in great field position. 2-2-3. Dynamic offense or soft defense. Green Bay is not dynamic. Chicago is not soft. So poor field position, no. And this will be a coffin corner punt. And 2 ticks off the clock. And always with starting a new game, it takes me a little while to get the gears oiled up and get things moving smoothly, so bear with me on that. 42, my black die is going to be my tens dice. 42, decision play field position game works out, pinning the opponent deep, and Chicago will be in poor field position to start their possession. And my scoreboard is just here on a couple little stands, so hopefully things don't get too goofed up. And Chicago gets set for their first possession of the game. 1-5-5. Reliable offense, that is a no. Meek defense, that is a no, and that's going to be an interception. So interception 5. Receiver catches defender for a touchdown saving tackle, but they will still have great field position. So interception by, oh, that was Chicago. I'm sorry, Trubisky. And Green Bay will start in great field position with 3 ticks off the clock. And actually, because it takes, I'm just not going to do possession because that shifts my board around a little bit. So Green Bay with great field position. A little less than 10 minutes to go here. In the first quarter, 3-6-6. Poor field position, no. Offense pushes downfield and caps drive with a short pass for 6 points. So touchdown pass. Let's see who it was to. We'll say it was 19. That would have been to Tonyan. Robert Tonyan. That was 4 ticks off the clock. And the extra point, Green Bay needs 65, and they do just get 65. And it is 7-0 Green Bay. So Green Bay striking first here with a couple minutes left to go here in the first quarter. They will kick off, and Chicago will start in average field position. 1-4-5. Prolific offense, Chicago, that is a no. Porous offense, that is a no, and that will be a punt. 3 ticks off the clock will take us to the end of the first quarter. And with Chicago's punt, 33, perfect punt execution. Pens return team deep in their own end, poor field position. So Green Bay will be in poor field position to start the second quarter. And they are up 7-0 after 1. And we'll get ready for their next possession here. 1-2-4. Solid offense, no. Mild defense, that is a no, and that will be a punt. 1 tick off the clock. And it was a 46 to begin with. 46. Average field position for Chicago to start their first drive of the second quarter. 1-5-5. Reliable offense, that is a no. Meek defense, that is a no, and that will be another interception. That was, I think it was 1-5-5, right? Yeah. I believe it was, the red die was 5. I gotta remember that. 4, good return after the interception, and Green Bay has great field position. It was 3 ticks off the clock. Green Bay, great field position. And they get set to come out. 1-5-6, dull offense, that is a no. Staunch defense, that is a no, and that will be a touchdown run. So Green Bay, let's see if it was inside or outside. It would have been outside 16. That would have been Jamal Williams for the touchdown. 1 tick off the clock. And going for the extra point, it is up, it is good. And Green Bay 14, Chicago nothing. Green Bay set to kick off, and Chicago will be in average field position. Start their next drive. 1-3-5. Good looking run, but a clean hit knocks the ball loose for a fumble. So this is Chicago's third turnover of the first half. 6, roll 1d6 on a roll of 6, fumble return for touchdown, otherwise great field position. That'll be great field position for Green Bay. So that was a fumble. Third turnover of the day for Chicago as Green Bay comes out to great field position. 3, 4, 5. Dynamic or home offense. They are not dynamic. They are not home. Soft defense. That is a no, and that'll be a punt. Green Bay 3 ticks off the clock. They are efficient. They're going to go ahead and take one more tick off the clock. So punt, 55. That was a regular punt. Receiving team takes over in average field position. So Chicago, they are semi-efficient. So they would need the decide or die and 4 or less to have a chance here. They do not get the decide or die. It is, oh, but yeah, it is end of the half. So Green Bay puts 7 more up. It is 14-0 as we go to the third quarter. And Green Bay will get set to kick off. 25, Chicago will take over average field position. They're needing something to get going here. 2-2-5, dull or porous offense, that is a no. Staunch defense, that is a no, and that is going to be a touchdown pass. So Trubisky 2, 14, that'll be Montgomery. And Chicago gets on the board here. In the second half, that was 2 ticks off the clock. They need 11-63, and they get it. Green Bay 14, Chicago 7. As Chicago gets set to kick off. 21. I gotta remember, use my black die. 21, receiving team takes over an average field position. Green Bay's first possession of the second half. 3-3-5. Erratic offense, that is a no. Great field position, that is a no, and that will be a punt. 2 ticks off the clock. 21 for a regular punt. Perfect punt execution. Pins return team deep in their own field. So Chicago in poor field position for their next drive. 1-3-5. That is a fumble. Goodness, 4 turnovers on the day for Chicago. 2 ticks off the clock. And on a fumble, 3 offense fumbles after moving into scoring position. Opponent will have average field position. So Green Bay average 14-7 here in the third quarter. 2-3-5. Quarterback scrambles, hit as he throws, and has it picked off. And 6, roll 1d6, 5 or 6, interception return for a touchdown. Otherwise, that will be great field position for Chicago as the roll comes up 2. 3 ticks off the clock as we are inside of 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. 1, 2, 6. Great field position, yes. That will be a field goal attempt with 4 ticks coming off the clock, putting us into the fourth quarter. And they need an 11-55, and they get it. So just inside the fourth quarter, it is 14-10. Green Bay. Chicago getting set to kick off here. Green Bay will start in average field position. 2-4-6. Poor field position, no. Disciplined defense, that is a no. That'll be a field goal attempt. Green Bay as 4 ticks come off. Long drive there. They need 11-63. 63, they get it. I think that is the second time they have got just what they needed as they go back up by 7. It is 17-10 now, as they get set to kick off here. 22, Chicago starts in average field position halfway through the fourth quarter here. 2, 3, 5. I feel like I keep getting the same results. That is an interception. 5 turnovers on the day. That is 2 ticks off the old clock, and we'll see where they end up. 5, receiver catches defender for a touchdown saving tackle, but they will still have great field position. So Green Bay starts in great field position. 2, 3, 5 again. That is an interception. 3 ticks come off the clock. They are efficient, so they're going to make it 4 ticks. And Chicago, let's see how they ended up after the interception. 2 defenders tackled immediately after the pick. Chicago has average field position. And there is 1 tick left on the clock. They are semi-efficient. So, let's see here. Decider die needs to be a bullet. It is not. That is 4. That is end of the game. Chicago not able to catch up with Green Bay at the end, and our first game of the season is in the books as Green Bay defeats Chicago by a score of 17-10. We will go ahead and get Tennessee and Cleveland set up and be back here in a moment. Our next contest of the evening will be the Tennessee Titans at Cleveland Browns. Let's see who will receive the ball first, and Tennessee will receive. Cleveland to kick off. Tennessee starts in average field position. Tennessee finished 9-7 in the American South. Tennessee finished 9-7 in the AFC South, and Cleveland finished 6-10 in the AFC North. So Tennessee with their first drive of the game, 5-6-6. Shaky offense, that is a no. Staunch defense, that is a no. That is going to be a touchdown pass. So Ryan Tannehill connects with Corey Davis to get on the board early. 4 ticks come off the clock, so a long drive by Tennessee. They need 11-64 for the extra point, and they get it with a 16. Tennessee quickly up 7-0 as they get set to kick off. 23, Cleveland will start in average field position for their first drive of the day. 1-4-6, poor field position, no. Great field position, no. And that will be a punt. That was another long drive that came up nothing for Cleveland. So 65, I think that's a good return, exciting return, great field position for Tennessee as they look to go up 2 scores here. 1-4-5. Prolific offense, that is a no. Porous offense, that is a yes, and that is going to be a punt backed up. If drive began in great, okay, so if drive began in great field position, change result to punt. So this is just going to be a regular punt. 2 ticks off the clock. And let's see what happens here. 65, exciting return, great field position for Cleveland. So Cleveland with an exciting return of their own. 2-5-5. Staunch defense, that is a no. Great field position, that is a yes. And that is a touchdown run. Let's see who got it here. Outside 18, that will be Kareem Hunt with the touchdown run. 3 ticks off the clock. Took us into the second quarter. Let's see, extra point, 11-61. It is good. This game is tied 7-7 here in the second quarter. Cleveland coming out for the kickoff. Ooh, 13. See here, cuts, turns upfield, but loses the ball after a big hit and a fumble. So let's see. Tennessee was the receiving team. They fumbled. 4, return team recovers quickly, but poor field position. So Tennessee will get the ball back. 1, 2, 6. Great field position? No. Disciplined or home offense? They are not disciplined. And they are not the home offense, so that will be a punt. 2 ticks. 42, I believe that is average. Yes. Cleveland will take over average field position. 3, 3, 4. Solid offense, that is a no. 3, 3, 4. Mild defense, that is a no. And that will be a coffin corner punt. 2 ticks. And punt, CO. 36. Decision to play the field position game. Works out, pinning the opponent deep. Poor field position for Tennessee. 7-7 ball game here in the second. 1, 3, 5 again. Clean hit, knocks the ball loose, and that is a fumble. 1. Ball is fumbled yards short of the goal line. Poor field position for Cleveland. That took 3 ticks. We are at 5 minutes to go left here in the first half. Cleveland with the ball. They are inefficient, but they are not trailing. Inefficient teams with 5 minutes or less to go in the game, drive times are either reduced or increased by 1 tick. So maybe this is an update. This was score sheet 1.1, and I think 1.0, inefficient, it only took effect if they were trailing, but either way, it doesn't matter now. All inefficient teams will get drive time increased by 1. So they are semi-inefficient. They are inefficient. 4 is a 2. That's going to be 3 ticks off the clock. 1, 2, 4. Solid offense. That is a no. Mild defense. That is a no. And that will be a punt. For Cleveland, that takes 3 ticks off. And 33, receiving team takes over in average field position. Tennessee is also inefficient, semi-inefficient, I'm sorry. So they are not inefficient. 3 is 2 ticks off the clock, and that will take us to the end of the half, as there was only 1 tick left. So, after 1 half between Tennessee Titans and Cleveland Browns, it is tied at 7 as we go to the third quarter. Cleveland set to receive the second half kickoff. 51, they will start in average field position. 2-2-5. Dull or porous offense, they are neither. Staunch defense, that is a no. So that is going to be a touchdown run by Cleveland to open up the second half. That was inside 7. Nick Chubb with the touchdown. 3 ticks will come off the clock. And extra point is up. It is good. Cleveland takes a 14-7 lead to start the third quarter here. They will get set to kick off. And 66, receiving team takes over in average field position. So Tennessee, with their first drive of the second half, will start off in average field position. 2-5-6. Shaky offense? No. Erratic offense? No. That'll be a punt CO. 4 ticks off the clock. So they drove down the field, got into good range, but just outside of their kicker's range. And they will have to punt. 26. Decision to play the field position game works out, pinning the opponent deep. poor field position for Cleveland. Two, 4, 5. Secure or home offense. This is a home offense, but the rusher recovers their own fumble on third down loss, and that will be a punt. 3 ticks from the clock, and punt. 65. Exciting return, great field position for Tennessee as they look to tie this ball game up. 1-5-6 dull offense, no. Staunch defense, no. That'll be a touchdown run for Tennessee. Let's see who it was. Be outside Derrick Henry with the touchdown. Quick drive there. There's only 1 tick comes off the clock, going for the extra point here. 15 good. Tennessee ties it up 14-14. With 1:15 left here in the third quarter, Cleveland will take over in average field position. 2-2-4. Aggressive defense, no. Great field position, no. And that will be a punt. 2 ticks come off the clock, taking us into the fourth quarter. Regular punt, 61. Tennessee takes over average field position, as it is 14-14 going into the last quarter. Tennessee with the ball. 3-3-4. Solid offense, no. Mild defense, no. That'll be a punt CO as 2 ticks come off. Looking to pin Cleveland deep. 66 though. Exciting return, great field position for Cleveland, looking to take the lead here in the fourth. 2-4-5. Secure home offense. That is a home offense, so rusher recovers their own fumble on third down loss for a punt. 2 ticks off the clock. We are inside 10 minutes. As 65, I think that is a exciting return. Tennessee with great field position. 3-6-6, poor field position, no. Offense pushes downfield and caps drive with a short pass. Touchdown, Tennessee, as Tannehill connects with Smith, Jonnu Smith. 4 ticks coming off the clock. And were they inefficient? They were. So that will be an extra tick. So that is actually 5 ticks. 2, 3, 4, 5. But the extra point coming up, 62, it is good. Tennessee takes over 21-14 with about 2:30 left to go for Cleveland. 51, Cleveland will take over an average field position. They are inefficient, so it does not apply, so they are not inefficient, but a 6 is 4 ticks, and that will be the end of the game. So Tennessee, with a late touchdown by Derrick Henry, gives them the lead and the win as they move to 1-0 on the season with a score of 21-14. We will move on to our next game, which is the Rams and the Panthers, here in a moment. And we are back with our third game of the evening with the Los Angeles Rams and Carolina Panthers. Let's see who will receive the ball, and Carolina will receive to start the game. Carolina with quarterback Kyle Allen. LA with quarterback Jared Goff. 11. Returner muffs the catch and is caught before he can get upfield. Poor field position for Carolina. Carolina finished 5-11 in the NFC South. LA finished 5 and... Oh, wait, this is the Chargers. What am I doing? There we go. Rams finishing 9-7 in the NFC West. So Carolina starting off poor field position for their first drive of this game. 2-5-5. Staunch defense, that is a no. Great field position, that is a no. That'll be a punt CO after 3 ticks. And 56. Receiving team takes over in average field position. So LA with their first drive of this game. 1-2-4. Solid offense, that is a yes. Pocket holds, pass complete, setting up a field goal attempt. 2 ticks off the clock, and they will need 11 to 52, 35. They get it. LA up 3-0. As they get set to kick off Carolina their next possession, they will start in average field position. 2-5-6. Shaky offense, yes. QB forces a throw and a double coverage for an interception. 5. Receiver catches the defender for a touchdown saving tackle, but LA will still have great field position. 3 ticks off the clock takes us to 5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. 1-3-5. I have hit 1-3-5 more times tonight than I think I have playing History Maker Baseball combined. 1-3-5. That will be a fumble by LA. 1 tick though, so quick drive there. And 2. Receiver drops the ball, reaching for extra yards. Average field position for Carolina for their next possession. 1-3-6. Prolific offense, Carolina, that is a no. Stiff defense by LA, that is a no, and that will be a punt. 2 ticks off the clock takes us to 1 minute 15 seconds left to go here in the first quarter, but the punt 22 is perfect punt execution. Pens return team deep in their own end. So poor field position for LA to start their next drive. This drive will take us into the second quarter. 1-5-6. Dull offense by LA, no. Staunch defense by Carolina, that is a no. And that is going to be a touchdown run. So a long drive is capped off by a touchdown by 15. That is Darrell Henderson. And the extra point is good. LA up 10-0 now. As we may have our first blowout here. The kickoff, Carolina will start in average field position, needing to get something going here. 1-3-5, and that won't happen because that is a fumble. 2 ticks off the clock, and let's see here. 6. We'll roll another D6 on a roll of 6. Fumbles returned for a touchdown, and it is not. So LA will start in great field position. Here almost halfway through the second quarter. 1-4-6. Poor field position, no. Great field position, yes. And that is going to be a touchdown run. And let's see who that was by. Inside 11, that would be Todd Gurley. Gurley puts him up by a couple scores here as extra point will be good. And LA now 17, Carolina nothing. As that took 4 ticks off the clock, 4, leaving us with 3 ticks left to go here in the first half. Carolina will start average field position. They are neither inefficient or efficient. So on a roll of 6 on the red die, it'll be the end of the half, and it's not. So 2-2-3. See here, dynamic offense or soft defense. They are neither dynamic. LA is not soft. Poor field position, that is a no. That's going to be a punt CO. Oh, but do they go for it here? This would imply that they are in decent field position. So they're going to go ahead and go for it. That took 2 ticks. They're going to go for it here. 5, home defense. That will be a no. So receiver makes spectacular catch in coverage for a first down. Offense will re-roll on drive results chart with great field position. So they went for it. So I think 5 minutes left to go in the game. Or can they not go for it? Oh, maybe they couldn't go for it. Since the rule on this score sheet is with 5 minutes or less to go in the game. So I apologize there. We're going to have to go ahead and make it a punt CO. And 33. Decision to play the field position game works out, pitting the opponent deep, poor field position. With 1 tick on the clock here. And, one red die came up 1, so 1, 4, 5. Prolific offense, that is a no. Porous offense, that is a no. And that will be a punt. 1 tick. We'll go ahead and play out the punt here. 13. Returner hit as he fields the ball, and a fumble. So let's go ahead and resolve this for receiving team recovered. So that'll be the end of the half. So LA puts up 14 that quarter as they still hold Carolina scoreless. LA will receive the opening kickoff for the second half, and they will start in average field position. 3, 4, 5. Dynamic or home offense, neither. Soft defense, that is a no, and that will be a punt. 3 ticks. And 52, Carolina will take over average field position for their first possession of the second half. Wow, 1, 3, 5, they will fumble. 1 tick comes off the clock. 6, 5. Great field position for LA as they get set to come out looking to add on to that lead. 2, 6, 6. Prolific offense, no. Punishing defense, that is actually a yes. So multiple defenders meet at the QB for a 3rd down sack. And that will be a punt after 4 ticks. So they're in great field position, long drive, and can't do anything. So punt, 64. Exciting return, great field position for Carolina. 5 minutes to go left here in the 3rd quarter. 1, 4, 5. Prolific offense, no. Porous offense, that is a yes. QB sack forces the offense off the field, and that will be a regular punt for 2 ticks. And LA 15 will be in poor field position for their next drive here in the 3rd quarter. 1, 3, 6. Prolific offense, no. Stiff defense, that is a no, and that will be a punt. So exchanging punts here as 2 ticks come off and take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 14. Perfect punt execution pins Carolina deep. So they will be in poor field position to start the 4th quarter. So nobody scored. They're in the 3rd, and we go to the 4th with LA up 17-0. Carolina with the ball here in poor field position. 1, 3, 4. Poor field position, yes. Runner tripped up short of the marker, and he will punt. 2 ticks coming off the clock. 12. Roll another D6. On odd result, returners in the open. Otherwise, average field position. It is odd, so we will go to in the open. 1. Return man can't stay in bounds after making his cut upfield. Average starting position for LA. 1, 4, 5. Prolific offense? No. Porous offense? No. And that'll be a punt. So nobody wants to score here in the second half as things really slowed down. 22. And poor field position for Carolina. About halfway through the fourth quarter, 1-4-6. Poor field position, yes, and that is another punt. Quick drive there. 25. Poor field position for LA. 2, 4, 5. Secure or home offense, neither. Passive defense, that is a no. And that is a fumble. So LA will fumble. 2 ticks coming off, taking us to 5 minutes. And let's see what the fumble is. 2, receiver drops the ball after reaching for extra yards. Average field position for Carolina with 5 minutes left to go here in the game. 4-4-6. Poor field position, no. Gritty drive ends with a great pass and a catch. Touchdown. Carolina gets on the board as Kyle Allen hooks up with 6. Christian McCaffrey. And going for the field or extra point here, it is up, it is good. 17-7 now, LA in the lead. Carolina, that was 2 ticks off the clock. So they are going to go for the onside kick here. 5, pro season 2017 or earlier, no. Great field position for LA. Carolina unable to recover. And there's not 1 tick left to go in the game. But if team is already ahead by 2 or more scores and scores with the last possession of the game, change result to end of games, they would have taken a knee. Okay. So that's going to be 2 ticks off the clock since it's a 3. 3-3-6. Clumsy offense, that is a no. Staunch defense, that is a no. That would have been a touchdown pass, but with the end of game score for winning team, they would have just taken a knee. So your final in this game, slow second half, LA 17, Carolina 7. And I'll be back in a moment with our last game of the evening. The Washington Football Club, and I think they were still the Redskins at that time. We'll call them the Redskins. Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. And our last game of the evening will feature the 2019 Washington Redskins. Finished 3-13 in the NFC East against the eventual division champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Finished 9-7 in the NFC East. Go ahead and see who will receive the kick, and Washington will start off with the ball. Philadelphia kicking off, and Washington will start in average field position. 2-2-5. Dull or porous offense. They are dull. So unimaginative play calling and too much pressure on the QB. That'll be a punt for Washington right off the bat. 3 ticks off the clock. 56. And Philadelphia will start average field position to start their day. 1-2-6. Great field position? No. Disciplined or home offense? They're home offense, and that'll be a field goal with 4 ticks coming off. Philadelphia needing 11 to 56. They get a 55. It is good. And after Philadelphia's first drive, it is 3-0. as they get set to kick off. 55, Washington starts off in average field position. 3, 5, 6. Great field position, no. Punishing defense, that is a no. And that'll be a punt CO. 2 ticks. 64. And receiving team takes over average field position. Philadelphia's next drive of the game. 3, 5, 6. Great field position, no. Punishing defense, that is a no, and that'll be a punt CO. 3 ticks takes us to the end of the first quarter. 22. And Philadelphia will pin Washington deep. Washington starts their next drive in poor field position. After one quarter played, it is 3-0 Philadelphia. As we go to the second quarter, Washington 3-3-6. Clumsy offense, that is a no. Staunch defense, that is a no. And that's going to be a touchdown pass for Washington as Case Keenum will connect with Steve Sims, to take the lead. That took 4 ticks. 5-minute drive there. And they need 11 to 64, and they get it. Washington up 7-3 here in the second quarter. They get set to kick off here. 25, and Philadelphia will start in average field position. 3, 4, 5. Dynamic or home offense. That is a home offense. So dynamic offensive attack pushes team into scoring range, and that'll be a field goal attempt. They need 11 to 56, and they get it. 2 ticks come off the clock. We are halfway through the second quarter as it is 7-6 Washington. Philadelphia is set to kick off. Washington takes over in average field position for their next drive. 2, 5, 5. Staunch defense, that is a no. Great field position, that is a no, and that'll be punt CO. 2 ticks takes us to 5 minutes. Are they inefficient? Well, it didn't take us into 5 minutes, so I don't think we'd have to check. Punt CO, 33. And they will pin Philadelphia deep. Philadelphia starting their next drive in poor field position. 1, 4, 5. Prolific offense, that is a no. Porous offense, that is a no, and that'll be a punt. They can't get anything going there with 1 tick coming off the clock. 23. And perfect punt execution. Pins return team deep in their own end. Poor field position for Washington. They are inefficient, or semi-inefficient. So that won't be inefficient. 2-2-2. Are they in poor field position? That is a yes. We'll go to unusual result A. Our first unusual result of the day. As 2-5 pinned inside their 5-yard line. The QB throws a quick slant to the wide receiver, and he's gone. Touchdown, Washington. 2 ticks coming off. So we'll see who Case Keenum hooked up with. 13, that would have been Chris Thompson. As Washington goes for the extra point, it is up. It is good. Washington 14, Philadelphia 6. Kind of surprising result here so far as we near the end of the first half. Washington getting set to kick off. Philadelphia will take over in average field position, but they can only, there's only 1 tick left, so if the red die is anything other than a 1, and it is a 1, 1, 2, 4. Solid offense, that is a no. Mild defense, that is a no. And that'll be a punt. We will resolve what the punt is. 15. And that will be the end of the half. As Washington puts up 14, Philadelphia only puts up 3, and it is 14-6 as we go to the second half. And Philadelphia will receive the second half kickoff, 21. I believe that is average, yes. Philadelphia will start in average field position to start the second half. 2-2-4. Aggressive defense, that is a no. Great field position, that is a no, and that'll be a punt. So Philadelphia just cannot get anything going. 2 ticks comes off. And 35, that should be average field position for Washington to start their first drive of the second half. 135, that is a fumble. As 1 tick comes off, we'll resolve what happened. 4, defensive lineman rumbles downfield for a decent return, and Philadelphia will have great field position for their next drive. So turnover there by Washington. 1, 2, 3. Poor field position, no. Great field position, yes. And that is a touchdown pass. Philadelphia, as Carson Wentz connects with Zach Ertz for the touchdown. They are, should they go ahead and go for 2? They are going to go for, no, they're just, not yet. Not yet. I think only 2 ticks came off the clock there. I messed up my red die. They're going to go for the extra point, and it is good. Score is now 14-13. And Philadelphia will kick off 12. Have to see what that one is. Returner finds seam, busts long return for being forced out of bounds. Great field position for Washington. So most of the rolls seem to be going their way. 3-4-4. Poor field position, no. Punishing defense, that is a no. And this will be a field goal attempt. They need, before I mess the red die up, 2 ticks came off the clock. They need 11-56, and they get it. 17-13, Washington now. As a little over 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. The kickoff, and Philadelphia will start in average field position. 1-2-5, reliable offense, that is a no. Meek defense, that is a no. Interception by Philadelphia. 1 tick coming off the clock. And 6, we will roll again. 5 or 6 is a touchdown. 2, Washington will start in great field position. So things just going Washington's way here. 3-4-6. Great field position, yes. The receiver dives over the pylon for a touchdown. So Case Keenum hooks up with 10 Heyman, or Kelvin Harmon. And that took 4 ticks off the clock. So that takes us to the end of the third. The extra point is up. It is good. And it is now Washington 24, Philadelphia 13. As we go to the fourth quarter. And Washington set to kick off. Philadelphia 51 will take over average field position here in the last quarter. They definitely need some, got some catching up to do. 1, 2, 3. Poor field position, no. Great field position, no. And that'll be a punt. Quick drive there. It's 56. Washington takes over an average field position. 3-6-6. This will take some time off the clock. Poor field position, no. Offense pushes downfield. Caps drive the short pass. touchdown as Keenum hooks up with 6 Thompson. Chris Thompson, once again, Thompson's second touchdown pass of the day. That took 4 ticks off the clock, so good drive there. Going for the extra point. It is up. It is good. And Washington 31, Philadelphia 13. Definitely did not expect this as Washington gets set to kick off. Philadelphia 12. That's punt chart. Returner finds seam. Bust long return before being forced out of bounds. Great field position for Philadelphia. They have a lot of work to do. 3-3-5. Erratic offense. That is a no. Great field position. That is a yes. Offense doesn't gain many yards but can still try for a field goal. That took 2 ticks off the clock. Do they go for it? 31-17. That would put them down. That's not 5 minutes left to go. So they'll have to go for the field goal. 2 ticks. Field goal attempt. They need 11 to 56. And they get it. Is now Washington 31, Philadelphia 16, as they are going to go for an onside kick here. 5, pro season 2017, earlier or later, or earlier, no. That's going to be great field position for Washington as onside kick does not fall into Philadelphia's hands. 31-16 here in the 4th quarter with a little over 5 minutes to go. This is going to be another long drive. Are they inefficient? They are. This will actually end the game. 3-6-6. Poor field position? No. That would have been a touchdown pass, but since it took 5 minutes off the clock, since they are inefficient, that will actually end the game. So your final score, Washington 31, Philadelphia 16. As that will conclude part 1 of our 2019 NFL Week 1, part 1 of our 2019 NFL replay. So I apologize, guys. I was a little shaky there, a little rusty, but hope you guys did enjoy that game and that you are looking forward to this 2019 NFL season. I'm looking forward to playing it. I think once I get back into the rhythm, games will go a little bit quicker, a little bit smoother. I do like the scoreboard. It saves a lot of time from having to go and manually make the changes in my software. So I really like that. Hopefully it gives a better visual visual representation of what is going on at the time. So if you guys liked the video, I ask you please like, leave a comment, subscribe, and let me know what you thought. All 4 away teams won so far. Next set of games will be Buffalo at New York Jets, Atlanta at Minnesota, Baltimore at Miami, and Kansas City at Jacksonville. So make sure you guys stay tuned. This is going to be a very long project, I imagine. So hopefully you guys are interested in it and follow along with me. Till next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. Have a great night, and God bless.